Monkey Master by Waldemar Januszak. Essay. Background. In this essay, the author describes and analyzes paintings created by a chimpanzee artist named Congo during the 1950s. The author draws parallels between Congo's paintings and the works of some famous modern artists, such as Pablo Picasso and Wassily Kandinsky. These artists were considered pioneers of abstract art, which does not portray subjects as they appear in real life. Instead, abstract artists emphasize the process of making art, as well as the formal elements of color and shape, separate from realistic portrayals. They often work to express emotions and ideas in ways that challenge viewers' perceptions. About the author. Waldemar Januszak, born 1954, is the longest-serving art critic in the British national press. The son of Polish immigrants, Januszak studied the history of art at Manchester University, and in 1977 published his first piece of art criticism. From 1979 to 1987, he served as the chief art critic for The Guardian, a British newspaper. In 1993, he became the art critic for another British newspaper called The Sunday Times, a position he still holds today. He has also made numerous movies about art. Monkey Master by Waldemar Januszak. Can a monkey paint a good picture? It's a question that has come up a few times during my tenure as an art critic, as a result of various modern art jokes, scams, cons, and the like. Normally, I would waste no time on the issue. It is, or was, my firmly held view that, in the field of art, monkeys do whatever they do by accident or coercion. Monkeys cannot paint. Then along comes a fascinating and slightly worrying exhibition at London's Mayer Gallery, Ape Artists of the 1950s, and I am no longer so certain. In particular, along comes the artistic work of a talented chimpanzee named Congo. Having carefully examined Congo's paintings, all of which might best be described as examples of lyrical abstract expressionism, I find myself assailed by doubts. I like Congo's paintings. A couple of them I love. I'm less sure of the output of the show's gorilla, and not much taken with the orangutan's pictures either. But in all their cases, something of interest is undoubtedly being attempted, and for the whole show the feeling persists that the lessons being taught here pertain not only to monkeys, but also to us. Congo was born in 1954 and produced about 400 paintings from the age of 2 to 4. He died of tuberculosis in 1964. He appeared on television in the late 1950s, the star turn on Zoo Time, an animal magazine show presented live from London Zoo by animal behavioralist and the Naked Ape author Desmond Morris. Apparently the experiments with Congo began by accident. One day, he picked up a pencil and drew a line. Then he drew more, until it was clear to Morris that the chimp's actions were deliberate. After a short drawing phase, it was decided to move him on to painting. Morris had a baby's high chair and tray adapted to create a seating arrangement at which Congo could work. There are photographs of Congo in action, in which particular attention is drawn to the grip with which he held the brush. It's similar to the way you or I might hold a pen, and was absolutely Congo's invention, apparently. If so, that is already a remarkable development. Congo would be given a piece of paper, and in conditions of considerable concentration, would begin painting. The choice of colors was his, red being a particular favorite, blue being a color he disliked. Fascinatingly, if you tried to take a picture away from Congo before he had finished with it, he would scream and throw fits. However, if he considered the picture done, no amount of cajoling would persuade him to continue. The master's work was complete. That was that. The results have been placed in functional wooden frames and hung in a line in the no-frills exhibition box of the Mayer Gallery. The exhibition comes on the heels of a recent auction of some of Congo's works in London, at which an American collector paid $25,000 for one painting, 20 times the expected price. But not even the Mayer Gallery's charmless presentation can dim the disquieting beauty of Congo's best pictures. They shine off the walls like stained glass. There's a cracker called Composition on White Card, painted on August 17, 1958, which is dramatically, even shockingly, sparse. An audacious pink splotch at the center plays a delicate game of tag across the paper with a couple of different blues. That's it. And it really works. For Congo to have finished this picture as he finished it, for a monkey to be this minimal, is deeply disconcerting. Composition on Buff Paper, painted on October 31, 1957, is perhaps Congo's masterpiece. Built compositionally around a central expanse of Congo's beloved crimson, it features an array of blacks and pale greens soaring around the red like vultures around a mountain. The mood is pure Kandinsky, the achievement profound. Not all of Congo's paintings get it as right. His range of painting gestures is narrow. The brush has a tendency to go round and round. He is as guilty as any monkey might be of overdoing things, and most of the paintings lack the specific character of the ones I have described. But the display never stops being remarkable. What is really spooky is the care Congo always brings to working within the paper. Only rarely does the brush stray over the edge, and he clearly understands the notion of balance, too. If a pink has a blue on one side of it and needs another blue on the other side, he will add one. The absence of muddiness, of colors mixed to sludge through mindless scrubbing is also spectacular. When it comes to pigments, Congo is a purist. So much so that there is some small room for doubt about the role played by Morris. It seems that although the paintings were made for zoo time, Congo was not often filmed painting them because the studio activity put him off. Morris's experiments were mostly conducted off-camera, which is a shame. Not for a moment do I question the authenticity of the images or the methods used to produce them. But it would have been interesting to see the extent of Morris's involvement in important aesthetic matters, such as the choice of colored paper for Congo to work on. This use of red, orange, green paper has a considerable decorative impact on the final image. Congo may have selected the colors, but who came up with the original wheeze of using impactful colored paper? How much guidance was Congo receiving? I ask only because this intriguing show could profitably have been bigger, fuller, packed with more information. I read, too, that Pablo Picasso was a collector of Congo's work. This does not surprise me. The notion of a painting monkey would have appealed to the devil in him. What's more, Congo, as an ape, could not reasonably have mounted any sort of challenge to the ultra-competitive Picasso's self-esteem. Morris tells an excellent story of a journalist asking Picasso his opinion of Congo's work. Picasso left the room and returned, his arms swinging like an ape's and clutching his Congo painting, then jumped on the journalist and bit him. "Artists and monkeys are brothers in arms," seemed to be the message. On a similar tack, Salvador Dali is said to have quipped, "The hand of the chimpanzee is quasi-human. The hand of Jackson Pollock is totally animal." Apart from Congo, there are works on show by Betsy, another chimpanzee, a gorilla named Sophie, and Alexander the orangutan. With so few examples included, it is difficult to come to any worthwhile conclusions about these other simian maestros, though certainly it is surprising to see how fragile and even nervous are the touches of the huge gorilla. Morris has attempted to give the display a truly gigantic storyline by insisting on the importance of ape art to our general understanding of the aesthetic impulse. It is the work of these apes, not that of prehistoric cave artists, he writes, that can truly be said to represent the birth of art. If that were so, then this would count as one of the most important exhibitions anyone has put on. I am moved to see it the other way round, from the point of view of the visitor, not the creator. Confronted by a pleasing assortment of abstract shapes, we humans have a wondrous ability to find meaning in them and to gain pleasure from them. Art, after all, is only as important as its audience.